Today I want to talk to you about the exhaust systems, but also, uh, as for yesterday, I kind of finished the development or developed the finished or refining the production line, to say so. What I mean by that, obviously, all the parts has been developed, everything works. I mean, the whole system, there's been lots of engine swaps between 1.8 and VR6 and VR5 done. We've done loads of stuff, and everything is already working. But when I'm saying development, I have to take in consideration a few things. First of all, obviously, the mechanical aspects, how to build this stuff, how to maintain a good performance, obviously, clearly. Also, how to make the production line efficient. Now, the production line efficiency is very different than custom-made parts, because you want custom-made quality, but custom-made parts usually take ages to fabricate. Obviously, if every part that is on the shelf will have to take a lot of time to be fabricated, it will cost a lot of money. So by trying to design the production line as efficient as possible, we can maintain the prices for the customers available, kind of okay, and still for the business to make sense to produce them, period. But also there is another thing, which is what people actually want. So, an example, this induction pipe, this called intake pipe. I didn't want to make them, so I came up with the idea of make them flexible. Not this is obviously this is 4 inch. This is for the VR6 turbo, 4 inch pipe. We have the 3 inch, which does the same route. And once I say okay, we can do them in 3 inch. I say to Steve, from now on we are only gonna give people the 3 inch flexible one, because it's pretty much half the money, or even less. It's much cheaper. It works almost the same. It's good enough. Why people will want to pay so much more for this instead of that one? And Steve said, "No, you'll be surprised. They probably still want this because for various reasons." So, nah, I don't think so. So just wait. We're not gonna make an announcement yet. Just let's see what people want. So I was wrong. About 60% of customers, they still, even more than 60% of customers, they're still paying for the stainless one. So I had to refine the production line to make it be more efficient, and we have them still in option. So again, that is another aspect that you have to take in account. I will use the flexible one because it's quicker, it's cheaper, all the stuff, but I'm not everyone, this is subject to preferences, so I have to take that account. Now, when it comes to the exhaust, we made exhausts which are, well, this is the bumper exit, this is custom made, but off-the-shelf ones are these. Straight through. You have your silencer, for a big one. You have your tailpipe without the catalytic converter. We have your dump pipes with flexes and bunks to put the lambda sensors, etc., etc. The intakes, subframes. I like showing them off, well, because yeah, why. Anyways, so that was the exhaust systems, blah blah blah, and the moment we've done the bumper exit on the VR6, obviously Steve has his one bumper exit for obviously a long time ago as well. Then I made a bumper exit on my Frog. Lot of people started to ask about that option. So I said, okay, we have that one on the shelf, but also if someone wants the bumper exit, once in a while I can make one kind of custom made because it sits in a different place, blah blah blah, etc., etc. So it's fine. But when some of the customers became pretty much half the orders, it's like, okay, there's a pattern here. People want different stuff. So the exhaust per se is working fine. Is good performance. Is stainless 316. TIG welded, blah blah, top spec. never gonna get rusty, never gonna get shitty. It's gonna there forever. But of them want bumper exit, some of them want straight pipe on the bottom of the bumper. Some of them want the catalytic converter as well for different reasons. It's okay. I have to come up with something that suits everyone. So this is what I did. I've changed the silencer position a little bit. That change of a position, what it does, it allows me to use a shallow or wide radius elbow. I don't like to use tight elbows on exhaust because they're more restrictive than, obviously, they're more restrictive than the wide elbows for the gas flow. So, again, if something could be done better, I do it better instead of just getting lazy and whatever. So I spend a couple of days and finding the right, correct angle, correct position for everything, so everything fits in the right position. Nothing is restrictive because it's not just this. I'm going to explain in a second. So that position, what that did is change the position of the of the flexi. Now, with the new position of the silencer, the flexi will hit obviously this part. So I had to add another elbow, 45 degree, well, slightly less, but it is, on the downpipe. Flexi is slightly longer because, again, a little bit changes in the positions. Everything seems very similar, but it's not. We added this mount here, so the silencer, so the initial part of the exhaust is held in by the top of the mount and the bottom of the mount here, which is not fitted yet, which looks pretty much like this. Not that attachment. This is again completely custom. It's completely different, but obviously we're using that. Now, once this is achieved, this is kind of always kind of like one part. And when you order the exhaust, you order the base, which is this, and then as a tails, this is, I just made it modular. So you can, let me see if I can do it with one hand. For example, you have a bumper exit. Again, it's not welded up because I just finished it yesterday. Well, just mock it up to see the positions and everything. Bear with me for a sec. So you have your bumper exit, and let's say, let me see if I can do it with one hand. A bit tight with one hand. Let me put the phone for a second down. There you go. I'm just gonna put the ribbon on temporarily. Alright, there you go. And now you have your catalytic converter and a normal traditional under the bumper exit with the catalytic converter. And if you want the same exit as that, you have, obviously this is not finished, a straight pipe through. Now, simple. You order the base, you order one of those, you order one of those, or one of those, or two of them, or three together. It doesn't matter. If you ordered one, for example, like this, to pass your emissions to the MOT test, or for whatever reason with the catalytic converter, and you're happy with that, and everything is good, and then you change your mind and say, you know what, I don't mind, and I would like to have the bumper exit one. Now, before, you would have to change the whole exhaust, have to make one. Now, all you have to do is to get one of those from us. In the future, no matter what, you just get one of those, swap it around. Obviously, you have to cut your hole through for your bumper, or I've seen a lot of people using not standard bumpers, but it's like a bumper bounce. So again, different fitments. You have to make a space for it, whatever. Cut the hole in the bumper, whatever suits you, and put one of those or whatever. You can mix them. You can have three of them, or it's very, very modular. So I think that's good idea. And with this, I pretty much closed everything because now we have everything to suit everyone through all this time We've been listening to customers, we listen to people, what people prefer, what people want, and we try to make it as easy and as modular as possible. Another very, I think, quite big update. I liked it because Steve told me yesterday he was watching one of Bill's at Badger 5 videos, and he's shown on the dyno different fuels, but with a very nice turbo. Now that turbo, and they sell it. They Badger 5. If you head over there on the website, they have it as an option. So what they do, they have a turbo system which replicates that position, everything as you can see there. But they have an aftermarket exhaust manifold, but that manifold keeps the exact turbo position. And the turbo itself is a hybrid build on the base of KO4, which is this one here. So everything you see here is pretty much, well, with hybrid, is 400 brakes capable. What that means, everything is bolt on. Obviously, you have to put the rods in the engine, blah, blah, but the exhaust, the intake, the charge cooler pipes, everything that bolts on from, obviously, our kit, from the shelf, it will go on that turbo because it is a KO4 just hybrid, but the positions are exactly the same. And you have a nice, really just as simple as this could be, bolt on 400 brakes system, everything all around it. The charge cooler, the intake, the exhaust, and the intake again. On this one here, if you don't want the stainless one, or because you think you don't want it, you want the flexible one, you get the flexi one for half the price, or you can get a flexi 4-inch one with a giant air filter. I mean, this is more than plenty, more than enough for the VR6 turbo, so it'd be more than enough for the 1.8. As a matter of fact, I think on Steve's car we're gonna put the 4-inch flexi as well, just to tidy up everything. So yeah, I think this is it. That's the kind of like a big news. Maybe it doesn't seem like big, but it is big because every time I have to do any kind of development or refining on the production line or taking something in account and changing something slightly, like for example this exhaust, it's time. Now, time is money for us. For you, time means some of delays. For example, we have customers waiting for the orders. Obviously, we're making them, but if I'm here, I cannot be there. If I'm there, I cannot be here. It's one or another. There's always a compromise. So, and it's never the right choice because if I compromise this, yeah, people waiting for that. If I compromise that, well, no, because people waiting for that. But I'm trying to work as hard as much as possible to make everything possible. Now, all the development and refinement being done means I can concentrate and resupply the stock. So when you order this, any parts, they're gonna be available or ready to be sent as quick as possible. For example, all the orders we have now, the majority of the stuff or parts, they're already waiting, already packed for the customers. But for example, actually majority of them, they already gone, like everything is there, but they're waiting for the wiring room adapters. And again, wiring room adapters, now everything is arrived, all the plugs and everything all correct, beautiful. I'm ready to make them, but I have to finish this first. I can't do both together. So the plan is now, obviously today and tomorrow, I'm making these exhaust systems because although we have the old version ones, we have 4 of them. The oldest we have, some of them are with a catalytic converter, some of them is bumper X's, have to fabricate them, finish them, ready to be sent. After that, so next week, I'm gonna do the wiring looms, all of them. So everyone's gonna be happy finally receiving this stuff and orders. After that, this finishing this VR6 is time to actually build this car. We have all the parts. It's been a while now, but obviously everything clashes. Kind of like the timing isn't right for everything. When I had time to finish the car, we had no parts. Now we have all the parts. I'm busy with doing this, blah blah. You know how it goes. When it comes to the exhaust, this is all right. So this one here. Like I say, you buy in the core, you buy in the base, and then you choose whatever tail you want, all of them, blah blah. This system is, I have to admit, is better than the old system, purely for the modulability. Nothing else. It's the same stainless, it's the same grade, it's the same silencer, same V-bands. Material is exactly the same. The welding is exactly the same. The position changes a little bit, not drastically, but changes. That exhaust is slightly lower, so arguably it's slightly better for weight distribution if you really want to be picky, but doesn't really matter. The difference is so little, it doesn't really matter. But what I'm saying is that I feel like regardless, if you want just a bumper exit straight through, and sorry, the under the bumper exit straight through, no catalytic converter, that is the exhaust to go. However, if you change your mind in the future, that it is what it is, and that's it. Therefore, all of this makes this a better exhaust. So, if we sell this exhaust at this price, that will have to be discounted. It's just making sense. It's just fair, I don't like the idea because it takes almost the same amount of materials and time and welding and everything. But as a product goes, I have to be fair. If I was a customer and I've seen this at that price and see that at that price, it's like, this is much better for the money. So to make things equal, that will have to be at least 100, 150 quid less to still make it sense. Because if I say, yeah, I'm okay with that exhaust, but I choose this one because it's same price, and if I change my mind in the future, I can do it. With that one, I can't. So, but if I have that one 150 quid less, I take that one. So I think that is a good option. So yeah, they discounted. How much exactly? You have to speak with Steve, but yeah, quite a lot to make it sense, because this is just better. I know it's kicking on my own balls, but I got to be fair. So there you go. Everything is getting good. Yeah, can't wait to actually do this car. VR6 is time for it. And then it's time for the frog actually. Now we decided yesterday, last night Steve texted me saying Badger 5 they not as busy in December. So I think I'm gonna borrow a hat for someone. Now as Steve didn't show me, but he's got another MR2. Jesus. I think he's got a hat on that one. So maybe I can sneakily just, can I borrow that one? And because obviously I need a roof on the car to transport it. I'm not gonna drive it. I'm gonna put it obviously on the trailer. It's not drivable. We didn't have the time to play with the map to make it drivable. Plus, I don't feel like it's better to put it on the trailer, take it to Badger 5, get it mapped, possibly 2 maps at once because I want to run normal fuel and race fuel, just because. And then, yeah, get it mapped and then maybe have it for Christmas. Maybe before Christmas we take it for a spin. VR5 turbo frog. Yeah, why not? Anyways, the goal of everything being on the shelf, it's very close to reality. Obviously, as nothing is settled, nothing can be as easy. Very, very soon, because time is flying now, we will have to move. The premises, unfortunately, that will cost us a good month of labor, I think. Again, disassemble the whole workshop, the ramps, my milling machine, the lathe, on the machining room, mezzanine floor and everything, and set up the new workshop. The good thing is, being a new place, literally is actually being built right now as we speak, so it isn't finished yet. It's being fresh and brand new. We can keep it in that way, because obviously because there was a moment where I left the workshop, I wasn't here, I was keeping this for me, and share it with Steve. This workshop degraded massively. It's just a shit place, it's like a scrapyard. No matter how much we try to scrub it and clean it, but this will have to be taken everything out, and reassemble again, paint the walls, paint the floor again, to make it the way it was before when I liked it. Having a new place, it means we can start from fresh, and I can set up the whole production line, the lab I like to call it, for development, everything in one place, separated from the fitting area, separated from experimental area. I like to call it experimental area, the Steve's area, because Steve's when he walks, I told him yesterday, I feel a little bad about it. I told him he's like a battle tank. If he needs something doing, he's doing that, and nothing stands in his way. Literally, if he's something on the way that has to work, it will fly away. That's the. But he does awesome results with experiments. So that's experimental area. Bit of explosion there. A war zone. There you go, war zone. That's Steve's area, war zone. So yeah, that would be good. And then obviously once we move and settle everything down, everything is in place to make the business as efficient as it gets. It means all the parts in stock, you order them, by the end of the week, they can be shipped to you. That is the goal. I've been working very hard to achieve that. We're already almost there, but obviously moving and dismantling the whole business is in the way, so we're not really pushing towards that at the moment. We have to wait till we have the new premises and do it the right way. That's it, I think. Steve said about something about discontinuing the arms. I am discontinuing these arms for the moment being. You know, we have a few of them. I think the last set, there's one set which is for me for the frog. There's two of these. These two are going obviously for the VR6. These are his ones. I didn't put them on because there was no rush, because obviously he's got all the arms, but not these ones. And then there's one set that was extra. God, I have to make sure I did. Is the complete extra set. Yeah, there's more of them. And they go to George, a customer of ours. So he ordered the extra set. I have him here, so there's no more. I think I need to check, because also there was a set that goes to America with one of the subframes. So I need to check. But yeah, for time being, I'm not making them. And the reason for that, sorry for turning around all the time. The reason for that is because they're quite complex to make. They are high quality, parts to made, and the quality is fucking awesome. I'll tell you something. It's like my brother is working with me, obviously designing and stuff, and he puts a lot of effort into it, and results are, everything fits just beautiful. You've seen when I showed you how we make the arms. I machined them, even though we don't need them to be machined. But because, again, yeah, you pay for the quality, it's like a jewelry. Sometimes you don't actually know how it's made, by a lot of effort put into it. But that results in, I always use that word, over-engineered for the subframe, because people use that word. On the arms, although it's not seen, they take quite a lot of work to be done, especially being stainless. Stainless is a bit of pain in the ass to work on in certain things. For example, when we weld the bunks, which kind of like this, we have a thread inside, obviously, to have the joints inside. When you weld them up, you want to weld them up proper, but you weld them up proper, you put a lot of amps, and sometimes they distort the thread inside, so you have to redo all the threads, because you can't just leave them like this. And it just takes time. It's not something you can rush, it's not something difficult to build, but they take a lot of time. And time, at the moment, it's not my friend, because we got all of this happening. So I have much more important bits and stuff to do instead of making arms, because on the arms, I have to be honest, it's all this material it really is expensive. Joints are not expensive, these are not expensive, but not cheap, but not hugely expensive. The bars, this is 316 thick wool. So the threads inside the insets, again, same material, 316, machined. Stuff is not cheap. When you add all together, and the timing to machine everything, and the timing to weld everything up, it just doesn't add up. There's a lot of these arms per set, and for the money we're asking for them, I think they are aligned with all the performance, the good quality performance arms. But those ones, I'll show you. So these, for example, are max speeding rods. These are for different cars. We had a few of them because we needed some of the ends and everything. to experiment. So I kept these because they actually look good. I like them. These are made in China, but they're decent quality. They're not solid, obviously. They're nothing like those. But I will put these in my car, for example. And if you order, when you order the good quality performance arms, they come something like this. Obviously, it's not complete, but just to give you an idea, So these bars are already machined. They are simpler. They powder coated, so they look good. Obviously, powder coating is time. You throw a stone on this, and if it cracks, you start having rust inside under your powder coating. So they're not forever. They're not as good, but they're still good. They're not bad. So when you order in the good performance ones, kind of like these, the company says they make much more profit than we make on these stainless ones. So you say, okay, sell the stainless ones at much more money. It's like, yeah, but I still need to work out the way for the customer to be, to make them affordable, because there's no point to make higher quality at twice the price of the performance ones, and then no one's going to buy because, yeah, we appreciate them, I would like to have them, but it's too much. Because I'm seeing that from always seeing that from the perspective of a customer. If it was me, yeah, I like it, but if they cost, I don't know, 1,200 quid and these are 100 quid, I get these ones because they're going to do the job at least close as good as those. And if they break, I replace them. I take the risk because 1,200 is a bit too much I can afford. Again, just making examples with the numbers. So again, in my mind, is always a battle there. I like the idea of this kind of arms. Let me just grab one to show you what I'm talking about. You have one of these arms. These are rose joints, high quality ones. Nice, this is what it looks like. This still needs to be clean because again there was a WD-40 on it. They go inside there, and you have stainless, subframe, stainless arms, stainless ends, high quality joints and everything. It makes it all complete. Everything kind of same style. And this is eternal. I mean, these arms, to bend this, yeah, all right. Of course you can. If you throw the car down the hill, you should be able. But anyways, yeah, they look good, but there is more into it. So for now, I'm not gonna make them. For now, but again, the moment I have a little bit more time on my hand, probably once we move, I'm gonna sit down and see if I can modify or refine the production line of them to make it a little bit more affordable for me to make it. Otherwise, it doesn't make much sense to make them. So we see. Anyways, that's the news. That's the update, sorry, of the business and everything. That's it. To the next one. Beautiful.